Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello friends, welcome to Entry. I, Deepani Bhardwaj, welcomes you all again, and today we will be discussing about the reasoning study of RBI Grade B. So what is the exact pattern of RBI Grade B for the reasoning section and how we are going to attempt it? So we will be discussing about that. Apart from this, we'll also discuss previous year's questions so that we can be aware in what way we can clear this examination. Fine. So there's no need to tell about the detail of RBI because we are already aware about its job profile and it is one of the most prestigious jobs, isn't it? Now we talk about the RBI Grade B's reasoning pattern. So let's start with its first part, that is what is the exact number of questions that are going to be asked in the examination. So in the RBI Grade B examination, from the reasoning section, there will be total 60 questions which will be of 60 marks. And we are already aware that there will be total of 200 marks question paper will be there, out of which 60 marks would be there of reasoning. Fine. Now, what is the exact syllabus of it? So if we talk about the RBI Grade B's reasoning syllabus, then it consists of Silogs, relationship concepts, statement conclusion, seating arrangement, analogies, space visualization, similarities and differences, decision making, problem solving, arithmetical number series. Apart from that, differences, arithmetical reasoning, analysis, judgment, visual memory, observation, discrimination, verbal and figure classification, non-verbal series and coding decoding. So this is the syllabus which includes in the reasoning part. Now, if we talk about the different sections, what type of approach is to be taken and how many number of questions are asked in the examination, let's have a look at it. So what we'll do, we'll understand about the reasoning preparation tips topic wise. Fine. So first of all, let's discuss about Silogs part. So if we talk about syllogisms, then Silogs are known as the deductive reasoning tests and are designed to just test your logical reasoning abilities. Fine. Now the best approach for solving these type of questions is just use your Venn diagrams. These Venn diagrams are going to help you out because these Venn diagrams are the ones which helps in solving these questions easily. So Venn diagrams are going to help you form Venn diagrams help you in forming the simple relations between the different statements which are mentioned in the question to result in a valid conclusion of the Silogs, which I've already told you. These Venn diagrams just make question easy, and the best part is by making the Venn diagram we clear ourselves that okay, this particular thing was asked. Fine. So Silogs can have the 70 to 80% of the accuracy. This means if you are attempting 5 questions, you will get around 3 to 4 questions correct on an average. Fine. Now you have to aim for this particular accuracy. Now how you will be able to do this? You can attempt 3 to 4 questions on the daily basis. Now I will give you an example also, but in the later part of this video, in the ending part, we will be discussing the previous year's questions in which we have kept a Silogs question as well. Fine. If we talk about another topic, the next topic is relationship concepts. So these are designed to check your cognitive skills. Fine. They might appear long and complicated. However, they are terribly simple to solve. These are very simple to solve. Now to decide whether you should solve this problem, now what type of problem is it? You must be aware. So what can be there? They can be a single person blood relation, it can be mixed blood relation, it can be coded blood relation. Now if this is single person blood relation, then go ahead and solve it. They take less than very less time and they have very high accuracy of above 90%. Fine. Now for a single blood relation, break the sentence at is, was, is and resolve it from the last point to is, was, is to get the solution. And again I'll say, please use the diagrammatic representation to solve it. Fine. If we talk about the statement conclusion now, in this type of questions, ambiguity comes in. Fine. There is no definite right or wrong answer. It totally depends on your thought process. Only answer it if you are 100% sure. Otherwise, do not go for it. And one more thing is that do not spend more than 2 to 3 minutes combined on this topic. I am not talking about a single question. On the combined this topic, do not go more than 2 to 3 minutes. Fine. Next, if I talk about seating arrangement and directions, then it is really very easy to figure out from the previous year's analysis, that is the previous year papers analysis, that questions from seating arrangement, that is linear and circular and directions constitute a major chunk of reasoning section. This is unlikely to change for this year's paper as well. Fine. So the topics, the 3 topics mentioned above will carry around 35 to 40 marks, making it the wow topic for this section. Fine. So you can get the maximum of questions from this part. The best part about this seating arrangement is that the questions are clubbed together. That is, for a single question or for a single paragraph of that particular comprehension, you are going to get 3 to 5 questions regarding the same statement. Now, this means what? This means if you have done the initial arrangement correct, you can attempt all the questions with 100% accuracy, and that too in very short span of time. In almost 3 minutes you can attempt these questions. Fine. Sorry. Next, if we talk about this part more, then beware. If you do not practice these type of questions, you will end up spending 10 to 15 minutes and still get an incorrect answer. As I told you, if you will practice it on the regular basis, you can solve it in 3 minutes. If you are not practicing it, it might take around 15 minutes as well, and in spite of taking this 15 minutes, you may get your wrong answer, and you are very well aware of what wrong answer costs to us. Fine. So this will not only cost you marks, but will also result in the poor time management for other parts of the paper. So what is the correct mantra for this? Just practice, practice and practice. Fine. So start by going through the basic concepts of seating arrangement. Try P&C from 12th class standard NCERT book. Solve 2 equations of seating arrangement and 1 question of direction daily for the next 3 months. This will increase your speed also, your visualizing capabilities, and moreover, you will be prepared for the toughest level of seating arrangement questions by the time of your examination. So when you will be sitting in the examination now, you will have the full confidence over them. Fine. Next. Now if I conclude everything, then what is the best study plan? So see, do not try to study everything, because if you try to study everything, you will end up cramming your schedule and ultimately risk being underprepared. So please make this particular thing clear in the very starting, and please understand what we have to study and what to not. Fine. So the leaving part is also important. Accuracy and speed always plays the significant role and the crucial role in these examination. Now what you can do on the daily basis, daily give at least 1 hour for reasoning section. Fine. For the next 2-3 days, what you can do, you can just start with your basic concept, just clear all the basic concepts of the topics that I have discussed, that I discussed the syllabus. From that particular syllabus, just go through the basic concepts. Then what you can do after the 3 days, you can do one thing. You can try to solve the maximum number of questions on those particular topics. Fine. Now what you will do? While doing these exercises, solve at least 50 questions every day. Fine. Now, apart from this, the main and important thing is that you have to give mock tests as well. These mock tests are very important. Please start giving your mock test. Identify your weak topics and your strong topics. Fine, because this is the time where you can convert your weak points into these strong points. So please pay more emphasis on these particular points. Mock test is going to help you in preparing with the proper time strategy, because the proper time strategy is very important. In case you give extra time on that particular question, you may lose another part of the examination. So please be aware of this. What other things that you can do is talk to experts about those topics and get your doubts solved. And the best part from entry is you can just go on the entry application, register yourself and ask faculties your doubts, because for the mentoring, faculties are always available for you. And I have already told you the mantra, which is practice, practice and practice. Fine. So this is all about the study plan. Now, as I already told you, I will be discussing some of the questions. So let's have a look at the previous year's question. So this question was asked in RBI grade B in 2018. What was it? In the following question, assuming the given statements to be true, find which of the conclusion among given conclusions is or are definitely true and then give your answers accordingly. Fine. So what they have given, they have told that A is greater than B, okay, B is less than equal to C. Another thing is that B is equal to D. Then they have told that E is less than equal to F is less than equal to D. Now, from these statements, we are clear with one thing, that is A is surely greater than C, isn't it? This is telling us that A is greater than C, this statement. Next is, since B is equal to D, this means for surely A is again greater than D. Fine. Next thing is that we are told with this statement, if we compare with the E's part, since B is equal to D, so I can say that E is less than equal to B. E is less than equal to B. How I have done this? Here we have told that E is less than equal to D and D is what? D is equal to B, because B is equal to D. No need to write it there. Just I am explaining you. That's why I am writing. Fine. Now, since E is less than equal to B, now if I say B is less than equal to C, it is given here. B is less than equal to C. Now, going on to the conclusion part, what they are saying that E is equal to C. E is equal to C. But before going that, what can we conclude from here? From here, we can conclude that it is for sure, that is C is greater than E. From here, we are concluding this. And apart from this, it is also possible, because of this equal to sign, that it is also possible that C is equal to E or E is equal to C. Now, what are all options are given? The options that are given are none of the following is true. E is greater than C, this option is seeming true. C is greater than E, this is also seeming true. So only 4 is true. No. Either 1 or 2 follows. Now this is correct. Both 1 and 4 follows. Nope. All are true. No. So our correct answer would be option number 3, that is either 1 or 2 follows, because we clearly know that C is greater than E. It is showing with option number 2. It is showing that C is equal to E or E is equal to C with option number 1, and hence option number 1 or option number 2 is following the conclusion, that is it is correct. Fine. Now if we move on to the next question, is it, so the statement is given, that is some coffee is a tea, all tea is water, all water is milk. Now I have already told you that for solving these type of questions, the best part is just use the Venn diagram. So what they are saying that they have given the statement some coffee is tea. This means some of the coffee is tea. Okay. This is the coffee and this is the tea. Okay. Now they are saying that all tea is water. All tea is water. This means this will be a water part. Now they are saying that all water is milk. All water is milk. This means they are talking about this part. This was water. This was coffee. It is very, very clear now. Fine. So what they are saying that some coffee is tea. Okay. Then all tea is water. Okay. All water is milk. Fine. So what is the first conclusion? First conclusion is that all coffee being water is a possibility. All coffee being water is a possibility. Correct. Correct. All milk is tea. All milk is tea. Now this is not correct. All milk is not tea, but all tea was water. All tea is water. This was correct, but all milk is tea. This is not correct, because only this part of milk is included in the these part in the this particular diagram. So this is not true. Now, apart from this, is there any other conclusion? No. This means that only conclusion 1 is correct, and which of the option is saying it correct? Option number 5. They are saying that if only conclusion 1 follows, and hence option number 5 would be correct. And this was RBI grade B's examination of 2016. So you can see that just make your basic approach clear, you will be able to crack the examination. Rest all tips are already discussed. For any doubts, comment section is available for you. Please do comment on it, like it, and share it as much as possible. And yes, do not forget to subscribe our channel. So thanking you for watching this video. Thanks a lot.